The Donner Party began its journey with approximately 90 members in the spring of 1846 from Springfield, Illinois, bound for California. They joined numerous pioneers who chose to migrate west because of the ample open land and promising prospects that awaited those who traveled to that region. George Donner led the expedition as an experienced route crosser, while James Reed showed his determination to uncover the quickest path toward California. The wagon train used the Oregon Trail to make its way through an unremarkable initial stretch of their extended trip. The group encountered numerous other travelers and traders who provided warnings about future threats on their path. Although difficult, the standard path maintained its safety track record. Exploiting a supposed time-saving method named Hastings Cutoff, Lansford Hastings led promotional efforts to market his designated trail, known as the Hastings Cutoff. According to Hastings, the new route would reduce travel time significantly by navigating through the Wasatch Mountains and across the Great Salt Lake Desert. With warnings from experienced frontiersmen, including Jim Bridger, the group opted to choose a shortcut route against cautionary advice. Taking this particular route proved disastrous for the pioneers. Hastings Cutoff delivered a path that proved harder than promised by directing them through lands that had not been properly explored. The trail through dense forest land and steep, rocky terrain in a hot, dry desert region created long delays for the pioneer march. The party faced wagon breakdowns and lost oxen through exhaustion, along with worsening relationships among its members. Hastings Cutoff turned into a major source of disagreement and frustration because it led to longer travel times than planned. The condition of the expedition deteriorated severely during early October. The journey was progressing more slowly than anticipated, and their food supplies were getting dangerously depleted as cold winter approached quickly. The Sierra Nevada mountains received an unforeseen snowstorm, which confined the group at what would later become known as Donner Lake. Heavy snow accumulated to 20 feet in depth around them, preventing any path forward or backward. They were stranded. While lacking any option for progress and running out of food, the party constructed temporary shelters, then attempted to endure. Upon stranding, they divided their meager remaining supplies of flour and dried meat, together with other items that offered some edible value. The days without food turned into weeks until the group members became unable to tolerate their growing hunger. The group boiled leather items to produce weak broth, while eating tree bark and searching for any available edible substance. The major food shortage caused a tragic decision point for the survivors. Members of the party succumbed to starvation because hunger drove them to eat one another. The survivors initially consumed deceased members of their party who died because of starvation and illness. The boundary between living and holding moral standards became less clear over time. Several people shared unusual stories about how they obtained food through crimes of murder, although no one has truly confirmed these accounts. The survivors recognized their hopeless situation during December, so they formed the Forlorn Hope, composed of their strongest members, to walk for assistance. The mountain trek became an extremely difficult task for them. People dropped from exhaustion combined with hunger-related issues. Survivors found themselves contemplating between eating their dead group members or succumbing to death. After confronting weeks of suffering, the few remaining members from this group discovered a settlement, which led them to report the situation of the stranded pioneers. Donner Lake presented rescue teams with a horrifying sight when they arrived there during February 1847. Survivors emerged from the harsh conditions as body-starved individuals who looked unrecognizable due to hollow eyes. Bones decoratively scattered the cabins, which showed the tragic end of the group members. The survivors would bear the consequences of their decisions throughout their entire existence after families split because of these choices. The journey began with 87 pioneers, but only 48 pioneers managed to survive until the end. The remaining members of the party faced death when the Sierra Nevada brought upon its ruthless winter season. The Donner Party's fate became nationally known as a lesson in unproven risks and risky survival tactics that people employ while migrating west. Donner Lake preserves the unfinished site where pioneers faced their fatal struggle, while time has brought calmness to the location despite the memorable tale lived on. This story about the Donner Party tells a tale beyond horror because it demonstrates both human survival capabilities and desperate survival attempts, while revealing the extensive consequences of one crucial choice.